Number one, you have to get over your issue with sales. But number two, this is the way that you do it. Before we get into the strategy, just know that people around you are quitting, their businesses are hurting, they're getting crushed. You can't give up. If you feel like that you're next, don't give up. Like, it's your duty to keep going. Like, if you don't like selling and you want to sell without selling, you want people to ask you to do business with you. You would rather people come up and say, hey, Aaron, hey, Dr. LeBauer, hey, Dr. Smith, I really want to be your patient. And basically, you just take their orders, like, because there's no controversy around selling. Like, number one, you have to get over your issue with sales. But number two, this is the way that you do it. If you don't like sales and you really want to make sure that you get people in, you need to have the ultimate application funnel. Like, it's an application funnel. I call it the ultimate application funnel. It's very simple. I did it because I didn't like sales. I didn't really know how to sell, but I really don't want patience. Like, I want to have a business where I'm not the therapist and like the good cop and bad cop. I wanted to also get on the phone with people who were serious and knew exactly kind of what they wanted. Because I went through a point where people could just schedule and they would just auto schedule. You know, I was an early adopter of like the internet scheduling system, right? And they could just put themselves on my schedule. I didn't know anything about them. They would come in and not know how much they were going to pay. And then they'd be upset at how the cost. Looking back, 10 years ago, that's because I didn't actually do the sales process correctly. They get upset and they wouldn't become a patient. And I had to figure out, well, how do I get information from people before I speak to them? Because it was costing me tons of time and money and frustration trying to figure this all out. Like, people would just show up and they'd have this whole backstory and they'd spend 45 minutes telling me their whole story. I'm like, well, I need to see you move. But through this application funnel, I get their backstory without taking my time or their time, and we can be more efficient. And so there came a time, basically in my clinic, where we weren't using this. But I started coaching, and one of the coaches taught me how to do this for my coaching business. And a few years ago, I realized I needed to raise my prices, not just raise them $5, $10 here and there. I had to go up like significantly so that we could stay in business because we weren't charging enough. Even though I was charging more than you probably are. I realized, how do we do this? We had to shift the way that we run the sales process. And I was like, well, I'm doing this kind of application funnel in my coaching business and it works really well there. Why don't we do this in the physical therapy clinic? And then I've helped people outside of physical therapy create this same kind of funnel, but I've learned it. It's one of those things I've learned outside the industry and brought it in because it saves me time, energy, frustration, and it qualifies people so that I don't have to spend time qualifying them like my electronic system qualifies them. Because if they don't fill out the application, it's just like they're not serious. So here's how the application funnel works. I mean, there's a few things that you need. One of the things you're going to do is you're going to go and say, hey, let me go. You can do this with social media, on your website. It's like, hey, are you interested in a free total body diagnostic or a free scale session? Just go to the link below. And you can go to callwithaaron.com and hop on a scale session with me or someone on my team. And you go to that link, and that link sends you to a application, and you fill out the application. So what do you need at this point? You need a URL or a link, like a pretty link, like a callwithaaron.com or aaronlebauer.com/call me. I got the aaronlebauer.com/call me as a pretty link through WordPress. And it just redirects to, the application. You fill out an application, use something like Typeform. I love Typeform, Jotform, something. Don't use Google Forms. Google Forms is great, but it looks like Google Forms. Use something that looks pretty. You ask them questions. Okay, so here's a name, phone number, email, right? Sometimes we ask name, phone number, email at the end. Like through our clinic, we'll do that at the end. What are you struggling with? How long have you been struggling with this problem? If you could change your body or business or whatever it is that you want to do, what would that look like? So like for my I have my cousin who I've been working with is like basically, his retirement. If you could have retirement that you wanted in the savings, tell me about that. So for the clinic, like it's where does it hurt? How long has it been hurting? What's it keeping you from doing? Where did you hear about us? How did you hear about me? So you're basically getting yeses and information. And when's the best time for a call back? They go through this, they fill out your 10 questions, and then when they complete it, it can redirect you to somewhere like Calendly. They schedule a call with you. In our clinic, so for our clinic, what we'll do is when the form ends, it doesn't go to the scheduling, it sends Amber a message. Amber gets a notification and calls them on the phone and schedules them. If you're a solo provider, solo PT, or you work for yourself, just send them straight to it, or you're going to do more of a online service, online coaching, consultations, etc. You don't need to call them on the phone to schedule the in-person visit. Just send them directly to like the Calendly link to schedule the online visit. One more thing that you need is an automated reply that just says, hey, thank you very much. There's going to be a thank you page through the form or through email. It says, thank you very much. We've received your request and we will reach out to you within the next 24 hours about scheduling your call, your total body diagnostic, your visit, your consultation, etc. And then you need a telephone, a Zoom account, or a physical location to meet them. The application funnel really is that simple. And you still need to learn sales. Because you need to know like what questions to ask. And a lot of those are based on, the answers they give you. This is one of the most valuable things that you could do. This is something that I have all my mastermind members do. This is something that my private coaching clients do. This is something that I do in both of my businesses. I've helped multiple people set up outside of PT and coaching. And it's something that you need to get on if you want to see more people in your business. You want to generate more money, more revenue, more time freedom for yourself, and make it out of this whole coronavirus.